Hey, what's up everyone? It's Jimmy, the Midwest Shredder. Today I'm at West Rock Wake Park in Rockford, Illinois, and I'm gonna give you 5 reasons why you should wakeboard if you're a snowboarder. So if you're watching this video and you don't snowboard, that's okay. Keep watching. Wakeboarding is for everybody. But in this video, I'm gonna focus more on the 5 reasons why you should wakeboard if you're a snowboarder. But I'm gonna be coming up with a video that kind of explains the basics of coming out to the cable park. All right, so let's get started. So before I give you the 5 reasons, I want you to think about why it is that you love snowboarding. So some of you might think, well, I love the freedom that snowboarding gives me, and I love getting rid of the stress from the work week. Or you might say, I love to carve, or I like to be with friends, or you might even say, I love being outdoors in nature and just relaxing. Whatever, if you have any similar answers to those, I can tell you that wakeboarding is very similar to snowboarding. So no 2 activities are exactly alike, but this is the closest one that you'll get to snowboarding. So hitting jumps, hitting rails and boxes, very, very similar. Carving feels the same, and actually carving water is very close to almost feeling like you're carving powder. It's very underrated when it comes to wakeboarding. I think because we're always hitting features, we don't do it a lot, but it's out there and it's fun to do. So if I encourage you, if you like to ski, if you like to snowboard, if you like to ride BMX, anything like that, or if you just love being outdoors with friends, I encourage you to come out here and give wakeboarding a try. But let's get started. Let's start with the top 5 list. All right, so these 5 reasons are not in any particular order, but let's start with number 1. Number 1 is that wakeboarding gets you in really, really good shape for snowboarding. So a lot of the features that are at this park, some of the smaller ones you can just roll onto, but a lot of the bigger ones you have to ollie onto them. So it strengthens your legs, your abs, so your core gets stronger. Also your cardio gets better just from riding a lot here. When you're getting pulled by the cable, you're also strengthening your upper body. Another thing that wakeboarding does for you is it can also help you improve your posture. So if you have bad posture and you're kind of bending, let's say, towards your toes a little bit, you're gonna see that when you hit a jump or when you hit like any kind of feature here, you're gonna land a little toe heavy. So wakeboarding also allows you to fix your riding position before you take it back onto snow. But it's great when the winter comes and it's snowboarding season, you're ready to go because you're in good shape. So that's reason number 1. All right, so reason number 2 why you should wakeboard if you snowboard is because it'll make you a better rider in the terrain park and all over the mountain. So cable parks like West Rock, if you look at the features, pretty much these cable parks are like floating terrain parks. But the great thing about them is that they're very progressive. They have something for everyone, from beginners up to pros. All right, so hitting rails and boxes does require some skill, but sometimes the hardest part about doing it is actually getting over the fear of doing it. So sometimes people are scared of falling on the hard snow or ice. Well, that's where wakeboarding is key. So with wakeboarding, if you hit a rail or a box and you fall over, you're gonna fall into water. It won't be that bad. Also, wakeboards don't have metal edges, so they're more forgiving. The other thing that you have to remember too is that you're holding onto a handle. So let's say you ollie onto a feature and you land a little funny, that handle can help you correct some of your mistakes. So wakeboarding, it does teach you how to jump on a rail from the side. It teaches you how to get locked onto a rail. It's no different in that sense. The only difference is that when you go back to snowboarding, you won't have that handle to kind of use as a crutch to fix mistakes that you make. So let's say if you do a front board on a snowboard, you might have to lean towards the end of the rail a little bit more to compensate for not having that handle. Otherwise, you're just gonna tip over. So all you have to do is think a little bit, but they're very, very similar. I don't feel them that much different. So this past season, I had my best season in the terrain park on my snowboard, and it had a lot to do with the riding with wakeboarding. So that's reason number 2. All right, so reason number 3 why you should wakeboard if you snowboard is because it'll make you a better switch rider. So when you're carving and when you're riding switch and you're carving on a wakeboard, it is a little easier than it is on a snowboard because the water has a little more give. However, when you're hitting a jump or you're landing switch off of a jump or off of a rail or a box, in my opinion, it's just as hard because that water, when you land, it has some give. You have to be able to absorb that, and you also have to adjust since the water moves. In snowboarding, once you land switch, you bend your knees, you kind of land maybe on a little bit on an edge and kind of ride away. With this, it has a little more give. So if you, especially if you're landing really high, you have to make that adjustment to be able to ride away. So it definitely makes you a better switch rider. All right, so reason number 4 why you should come out and wakeboard if you snowboard is because you're gonna make a lot of friends out here. So the people that wakeboard tend to do the same things that you do. A lot of people, they snowboard, they ski, they ride BMX, they ride mountain bikes, they ride motorcycles. They do a lot of the same activities that you do. So when you come out here, it's a very tight community. Everybody helps each other out and everybody talks to each other. So you're gonna make a lot of friends that you can hang out with in the winter, and that's pretty awesome. So even if you don't have anybody to come out here with, just come out. You're gonna meet a lot of cool people and they're gonna make you comfortable, and it's a good vibe. So that's reason number 4. All right, so reason number 5 why you should come out and wakeboard if you snowboard is the most obvious one and the most important one. So wakeboarding is a ton of fun. So the great thing about these cable parks, just like West Rock, is that the features, even though you might come out one weekend and it's set up a certain way, the next weekend you might come out and the features might be in a totally different setup. These features can be moved around and they can come up with all these different type of hacks that you can try, and it makes it super fun and very progressive. It'll make you a better rider. So that's the most important one. Come out and ride because it's a ton of fun, and that's reason number 5.